What? Some background.
What is up, ShadowZonians? Yes, I just came up with that, by the way. And no, I haven't been working on that all. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. Happy Saturday, folks. It is a wonderful night tonight. It's been a fantastic day. I have a great show lined up for tonight. The Reverend is in the house to make a doctor's call today. We are going to be discussing a few different topics, and Reverend Payshence is absolutely one of my favorite people in the entire world. And man, if we lived closer together, I would be honored and privileged to have this lady on my team. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, ShadowZone Podcast and Global United Paranormal Foundation is sponsored by Ghost Energy Drink. If you're in the middle of an investigation and you start getting tired, grab yourself a Ghost Energy Drink and bring your spiritual energy soaring high again. Also, don't forget, go check out the Parapost Network. It's a Facebook-like atmosphere and geared strictly towards the paranormal. You can upload videos, you can chat with other people from around the world, and best of all, it's free to download. So go to your Google Play Store, download the Parapost Network app. It runs on Apple, it runs on iOS, it runs on Android, laptops, computers, tablets. And hey, if you don't want the app, then just simply type in parapost.net and get your account going today, folks. And as you can see, I'm by myself, all lonely, no cast to pick on, no Eldon to pick on. So, yeah, can't really pick on myself, otherwise it's no fun. You know, I get a kick out of it. You guys won't understand it. You know, it's just a mess that we can just avoid. And Irene says, "Hi, Brian." And I am here. Well, at least Irene's here. And Irene, you rock. So, without any further ado, let's bring on that funky cat by the name of Reverend Payshence.
Well, bienvenidos. How are we doing?
We are doing fantastic tonight, Reverend. How have you been?
As I always love to say, extremely blessed and highly favored and pissing off all the right people and loving every minute of it, darling.
You know,
Woo-wee!
that saying, I
Amen.
swear to God, no matter how many times I've heard it, Rev, it never gets old.
Well, the funny thing is, when I do say it, either people giggle and laugh because they love it, or they giggle and laugh because of what I just said. Either way, it gives that gift of laughter, which is a gift of positive energy, which helps build the immune system. And right now, we need our immune system spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, all at its highest so we can get through this bullshit that we're going through as a whole and collective on this planet with this COVID crap, you know?
Oh, amen, sister. Amen on that one.
You know.
So, Rev, you know, we we had a nice discussion in the back, and I want to continue this discussion, but from the beginning for our audience here, um, tell us your take on autism.
Autism, because a lot of it has been caused by these vaccinations and everything and the stuff that we put in our foods, but mostly the vaccinations. I mean, back in the day in the 70s when you and I were kids and everything, we had maybe eight. These poor kids got like 32, and they don't want to admit, what's the side effects and what they're causing and everything. And so one thing they do have that's more advanced than us, and they've been able to prove, is that their pineal glands are much larger and more advanced and open.
Can
And
you
doing
explain
so,
what a
that
penile
third eye and everything literally makes autistic children keys to the spirit world. That's why, per se, your house may not particularly be haunted, but the child would be because they are opening up portals to the spirit world without even trying and everything. And so and they're able to see, feel, have all the clear, all the different, psychic abilities that the average person doesn't have. And that's why it's so important because I work through my ministry with a lot of parents who have autistic children and everything, especially y'all as investigators, to be making sure that you are taking advantage of using aromatherapy to keep up that spiritual protection, not only for them, but for y'all. Like your household products, your daily shampoos, your body washes, your laundry detergents, everything. And then also too, either running diffusers or anointing yourself on the daily, like I always teach about, putting the crown on where you do the middle of your forehead on the third eye, your left and right temple, and the back of your neck, a left and right side, which literally makes the protection pinnacle crown or the five-pointed crown on your head. And you use either lavender or a blend of lavender and frankincense. At night, like I've talked about before, you use the mixture of cedar wood and lavender, and so that keeps you protected up, so that you can keep yourself with the mental clarity and focus that you need. Because when they don't have it, especially, because they're naturally born that way, so they don't fully understand. But the average human, doesn't realize we're all born with these gifts. Some of us are just more intense than others. And the ones that, have had these natural gifts without properly spiritual training, especially ones who we call clairaudient, where they can hear them and everything, get
right?
driven literally insane and sent to asylums and stuff because of not, and being diagnosed schizophrenic and everything. A lot of our mental problems is caused by spirit, these negative malevolent energies. So putting the crown on keeps you protected. It's been proven it raises the vibration of your frequency to such a positive level that nothing malevolent can attach and everything. And like with me, with my Creole mixture, I many a times when I'm doing my spiritual work or I'm on investigation, I scarf myself up But many times in certain situations, I can't wear my headscarf, so I make sure I put my crown on. And it's like on the same essence because anything malevolent loves the first place they attach is the crown because that's where our pineal gland sits. That's where the soul sits and everything. And so that's where they first want to attach. And that's why it's so crucial, people, especially if you have these autistic babies at home. If you are an investigator, you have to make sure that you are doing your part for protection and spiritual cleansing on the daily, not just once a month, once a week. Can't be complacent at all. It's very important.
Very good. Very good. Irene wants to know, do you feel it's getting creepier these days with more hauntings?
Getting creepier these days? Oh, yeah. With everything that's going on and everything, you know, the veil has been literally, people don't realize. Normally, it's always usually around, time of Halloween or time in May around Beltane and everything, that the veils are the thinnest. But since certain things have happened and we're going from the 3D to the 5D ascension, the veil has been completely ripped. Hell is empty because all the demons are on earth, as they say.
And Irene also says, my friend is autistic and he has a theory about being touched by aliens.
I wouldn't be surprised. We've been influenced by them for thousands and thousands of years. Who do you think the ancient gods are? Everything that we used to call magic has now been proven by science.
Except for turning people into newts. Nobody's figured that one out yet.
I turn mine into toads.
The one magic trick science will never figure out. Irene says, I use salt because I used to practice used here in Japan.
What's she do?
Irene, what do you do again, hon? I have a horrible memory.
Oh yeah. We use, especially like in the hoodoo tradition, we use all various type of salts. We have white salt, red salt, pink salt, black salt.
So
use different. We got green salt for prosperity and everything. Pink Himalayan salt for self-love and love rituals. Lavender for healing and everything. Lavender salt. The red salt used for love as well. A black salt is for banishing.
Gotcha. Irene says she cleanses with salt.
Yeah, a lot of people cleanse with salt.
So if somebody had a mental disease, let's say schizoaffective disorder, what in your mind do you believe is special about the person with that disorder?
Just like I said, and everything, they're clairaudient and clairsentient, and and clairvoyant, and they're not they have the spiritual gifts, and since they don't have proper training on how to use these gifts and everything, because our society, because of mainstream religions calling themselves, of the devil, even though they're God-given gifts, they're given to us for a reason, so we can be spiritual warriors, so we can fight the unseen and everything and be able to handle it. Because just, the physical body is not the only thing that we do. When we die, we're just transmutation into something else and everything, And like I tell folk, like just because the physical body's gone, the personality, that's, the soul is what we call conscious energy and everything. Energy with a personality is still energy, And so when dealing with that type of thing, we need to be, as they say,
sorry, it was open for a minute. Sorry.
being more open-minded and realizing that spirit and mind and, and the physical are all intertwined and everything.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, okay, um, before I started working at the thrift store here in my little town, I used to help my husband down in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis at a beauty supply store. And one of our clients was this lovely lady. She was the head nurse of Franklin Mental Hospital in Minneapolis, which is state hospital and for Minnesota. And she was coming to me as a spiritual client, and I was teaching her about the lavender and the putting on the crown and working with the frankincense and all that. And she saw the major difference working with me and everything. She had more healing going on than traditional therapy. And because many a times traditional therapists, as soon as you start getting on the subconscious level and getting triggered about why things are causing psychosis and everything, instead of finding out the core problem and working on a healing to heal this person, here's a drug, stop the and suppress everything again. And so she had seen the major healings for her own personal self. So she started implementing it at the mental hospital. And she was the head nurse of the psych ward where they had all the schizophrenics and the massive depressives and PTSDs and all that kind of good stuff. And they had the little plugins with the lavender. They changed all their disinfectants, all their cleaners to lavender scent, all their body washes. And they saw huge healings because it's a lot more powerful than people try to give credit for and everything. Like any of my students or my clients that I got doing that, when they contact me and they go through this long, stressful out, anxiety-filled spiel, my simple answer is, oh, you didn't put your crown on today. Oh my God, how can you tell I didn't put my crown on? Because you're not focused. That's why your energies are all over the place. And it will literally keep anything malevolent that's trying to whisper in the ear, trying to cause problems and everything from being attached. And what then the part where it says mental clarity and focus is literally so you know what your thoughts are, especially someone who is like me and everything, where you're have natural mediumship, so you learn to control and be able to put up those boundaries and everything so you can keep yourself sane and you can keep you as, because if you don't learn how to control these gifts and put those spiritual boundaries up, I mean, you'll have something like the movie 23, because the body's just a vessel, and then
Exactly.
Like for a joke, I used to when I was first dating my husband, who I'm married to now. I used to tell him all the time we are a legion, and I said, apart from getting to be in a relationship with a psychic medium, there's more than one of us. And it was one Valentine's, because you know how like February 15th they call Side Chick Day after Valentine's and everything. I was joking him about that, and he goes, "You know what? I don't have time for a side chick. You are my side chick." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because there's more than one of you. When the different ones come on, you speak different languages, you have different accents, they have different personalities. And I looked at him, but we all love you, you know,
Oh, you love all your personalities. What a sweetheart.
right? Exactly, exactly. But that's the thing. It's hopefully with more and more of the younger generation pulling away from traditional religions and everything and becoming more spiritual, they will start, being taught and seeking out proper teachers. Because trust me, between the TikTok and the YouTube and everybody else, there's still, on Facebook and Instagram, there's a lot of frauds out there leading these children down the wrong path and all that stuff with, and taking advantage of them and trying to literally, some of these spiritual teachers are jealous of their students and they are literally doing work on them to try to drain them of their gifts because they're jealous. And so that's why you've got to make sure that when you're, coming into the realization that you have these special gifts, to seek out, a proper teacher. And that's what I do through my ministry and everything. And, it's a universal spiritual ministry. Yes, I do fly on the broom, everybody. Just because, I fly on the broom, Doesn't mean I have to be Wiccan, all right? Because I've had some people, Wiccans, try to tell me I wasn't a true witch because I wasn't Wiccan. I said, honey, what I practice has been around a long time before your Wicca fluff bunny crap ever came around. You know, long before the 1939 or something like that with Gerald Gardner. He got kicked out of the Masons because he was a pervert. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm known as Hell No Kitty. What is Raymond saying?
He says energy cannot be destroyed, just transformed.
Oh,
And
exactly.
Simon says, good evening,
Exactly.
everyone. And Miranda says, what is the ringing in the ears all the time?
That is when you got spirit trying to give you a download and everything. And you know, depending on which ear it is, usually the right, it's something good, usually malevolent if it's on the left side. If it's both of them, it's definitely a major download from the universe. And usually, when me personally, when I have that happen, I'll just tell them, I understand you're trying to give me a message, but right now you're on a frequency I can't understand. Can you please reveal to me the message in a better and easier way for me to understand? You know, so, and then the ringing will stop. And then either one of my girlfriends will, contact me, and I'm getting, there's like, spirit wants me to give you a reading, child, or child. I just had a dream, and this is what happened. And the funny thing is, I'll literally have several of them come to me at once and everything. And right after I do that, and these girls don't even know each other. They don't even practice the same type of spiritual paths, but they're all readers and have this similar spiritual gifts, and they are literally giving me the same message. It's like, okay, it's like the ancestors are like, okay, how layman term do you need it? But yeah, usually when you get the ringing like that, that's this spirit trying to contact you.
Well, Miranda says it's both ears, but nonstop. And Irene says young people are not interested in the paranormal world because I am all alone in Japan, but it's too frightening for people to understand. But this whole country has nothing but paranormal activity, like geez whiz, accept it.
Well, the problem is in Japan, like a lot of places around the world, the younger generations, either they're becoming extremely spiritual or they're all about, you know, technology and science and everything. And the thing is, you're right. Japan is full of it. I mean, oh my gosh, all the way from their mythology to just through the Shinto, and the way of Shinto, the national religion and everything. It's their main thing is working with the ancestors. And that is straight up working the spirit. But the thing is, the Japanese young people are not as religious. They're all secular, big time. They're all obsessed with materialistic bullshit. It's bad, especially like in Tokyo. Ugh, real bad.
So, with schizoaffective disorder and schizophrenia, you get the people that hear voices, and they'll hear several voices at the same time. And then
Right.
they'll get the hallucinations of seeing people getting murdered, blood splattering on their face. They can feel it, they can smell it, they can taste it. What are
Uh-huh.
those kinds of?
That, like I said, that's because they have those spiritual gifts and they don't have proper training in how to protect thyself. Malevolent entities take advantage of it. Demons love to take advantage of folk like that. They get off on that, seeing them, driving them crazy and everything, and doing their work. So they make them into a little meat puppet.
Gotcha.
You
Irene
know,
said, my house is in Tokyo.
that explains a lot, girl. There's all kind of foolishness going on in Tokyo, baby. Definitely keep up with your spiritual work and everything.
So, how do people go about finding people to help them learn to control their third eye?
Start doing research, depending on what their spiritual path is and everything, watching shows like this, so they can, meet different people and see, because like I said, I'm a teacher of it. I teach people about it and stuff. I have my like I said, my ministry is universal. I teach, how people how to be the spiritual warrior. I use folk magic. Everything that I teach, you can apply no matter what culture you come from and everything, because I've always been studying on sociology and of cultures and everything, because one, being adopted, and two, with my Creole mixture and everything, I had always been drawn to different cultures and different languages and how they spoke and how they dressed, how they worshiped, how they dealt with the paranormal, and we're a lot more the same than people give us credit for. And so to honor all my ancestors, I am what I say, a universal teacher, because all the tools that we use for spiritual work, even though they're called different names in different languages, they're used for the same stuff, whether it be for herbs, whether it be for crystals, whether it be for incense, candles, spiritual baths, you know, like I said before, you say tomato, I say tomato, boom, boom. We're doing the same thing.
Gotcha. And I couldn't agree with that statement more, actually. And
It would.
when it comes to the magic world of of the spiritual realm, what are some of your favorite magics to work with?
Well, for one, definitely doing my, sympathetic magic, of course, and everything, because, like I said, I do the hoodoo and the conjuring. We got our, between our dolls and candles and gree bags, and I do my meditations. Um, Mostly, for me, I have been initiated in several different traditions, but instead of starting certain spiritual houses, it was just for my personal walk to get to know my ancestry. And so I'm mostly about teaching and doing ancestral work, being the modern day necromancer, as I would say. Because people don't
Um,
realize that necromancy is not just about raising dead bodies. You know, it's actually a form of, let's say, it's working with your ancestors.
I was gonna mention necromancers and raising the dead. So
Hmm.
what about herbs and flowers
Oh
and
God, yes.
incense and everything? I mean, what do you recommend for paranormal investigators, just besides the crown, on how to protect their family?
Well, down in the South, and especially in hoodoo and conjure work, we use Florida water. In Spanish, we call it agua de Floridas. It's like holy water on steroids. It originally was, I think it was originally made in 1808 for the upper crust New York socialites, but they realized the spiritual attributes of it because the mixture that it's made out of. Um, and when I told someone the name of it, they was that water from the state of Florida? No. Florida water. Florida in Spanish means flowers. It means water made of flowers or perfume made of flowers. And you can use it for blessing, banishing. Many times, like when we're cleansing out a home and blessing a home, we go through, throw salt, either kosher salt, sea salt, in the four corners of every room. Then you spray the room down with the Florida water, and you say a prayer to Saint Michael, Psalms 91 and 23, and usually that's what you need. Besides using your own words to tell the thing to get the fuck out. This BS about white sage, okay? Y'all need to stop using it on fucking paranormals on your investigation, especially when you're trying to cleanse a home. It's not for getting out. or banishing like that. It's for cleansing the aura. That's it. Okay. All right. So if you got a demonic in someone's house and you think you're going to use white sage, it calms it down. That's like me going up to somebody with an attitude, handing them a big old fatty and say, all right, let's smoke one. Well, guess what happens after they come down? They're more of an asshole than before. Okay. Because I had seen like this one joke one year, meme where it said, me hits blunt, pass it to the demon next to me. Demon next to me hits blunt, me again. Haha. It's full of was it it has white has sage in it, you know, so it's talking about it getting out and everything, and it's like that's not going to work. But if you put basil or oregano in it or rosemary, that will banish it. People don't actually. One of my favorite mixtures is you take a multi-purpose bottle, fill it up with white vinegar, and add a whole thing of Italian seasoning. Because if you look up the blend of Italian seasoning and look up the spiritual use of each one of those herbs, it's used. You could use it as a fast luck. You could use it for banishing, cleansing, healing, bringing love, money. And so you put it in the vinegar, close it up, shake it up real good, and use it as a spray. I usually also add 3 tablespoons of either kosher salt or sea salt in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and then read Psalms 23 over it and shake it up real good. And we used to call it Monster Stay Away spray. And we used to take it also, besides the Florida water, make that mixture and bring it along on investigations and everything. Not that we're trying to, especially if it's like one of the bigger places that are, you know, like the asylums that they rent out to people and that's how they make their money. It's not that we're trying to chase anything out, but some of those places has some really nasty demonic shit going on in those places because, you know, young and dumb little Satanists coming in there and opening up shit and inviting in shit besides, you know, the other spirits that are already trapped there with their mental problems and everything. So with the combination of that, you got to keep yourself protected, especially if you're an investigator who got kids at home, because you don't want to bring nothing home because it may not want to attach to you. As soon as it does, sees a young innocent, boom, they love that shit. Oh man, that energy is nectar to some of these demonics, you know. They,
You
I
got
mean,
mental disabilities as a kid, you're fucked.
that's why it's so important and everything. Because a lot, like going back to the term, talking about the autistic babies and everything, they're naturally indigos. And that's why it's so important to make sure you take advantage of your daily products and use aromatherapy to your advantage. You know, aromatherapy has been around for thousands and thousands of years. They even have ancient papyri talking about lavender itself, especially when blended with frankincense, heals the sickness of the mind. And they even have new medical modern day articles proving the same thing they knew thousands of years ago.
Oh
You know?
wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And the only reason why Big Farm tries to discredit it always and everything all the time is because they're all about making their money. They don't want people healed. They want repeat customers. I used to work as a medical biller and coder. I've seen the dark side. They don't give a fuck, especially in the mental community. Like for instance, one of my husband is a former Masonic brother, and one of his brothers who served 3 terms in Afghanistan, had the demons of war attached to him, something fierce. And our government doesn't give a shit about the mental health of our soldiers, especially our veterans. This man was so medicated by the VA, he literally had a tackle box and it still wasn't working. He was between doing spiritual work and the medications that they had him on, it didn't make him better. He was, I mean, spiraling out of control big time, in and out of the VA psych ward several times before he started working with me. I've been studying psychology since I was in high school. I'm in my 40s. So the combination of doing, you know, between being a spiritual teacher and in psychology, you know, 20 years ago, I termed the term, as they say, a spiritual therapist. You know what I'm saying? I use psychology and spirituality blended together when I'm working with a client. And so I had to literally approach him like he, was still, because in his mind, many times he's still back in Afghanistan. So I had to treat him like he was still there, and snap to like a soldier. And once I got him to understand and listen to me and got him working with the crown and everything, he has no tackle box anymore. He actually owns his own home finally for the first time. He's been able to actually finally wean himself all off all those nasty man-made drugs that the doctors were giving him that was tearing up his health and making his mental health even worse. And so I got him working with proper meditation, especially the sleep meditation, with working on the subconscious, uh, so he can get healed from the trauma. And then also too, working with the different herbs and supplements, to help him heal. Because everything that we take in our body or we cook with, people don't realize that it also has a spiritual and medicinal use. And so, and through all that, he's made a total 180, to turn his life completely around for the better. And it was
And this,
through his, and through the self discipline and the self care and everything, he's been able to help himself and heal himself. And he's been able to start helping his other fellow Masonic brothers and veterans and everything, you know. And I wish, our government would do a better job, and healing our vets and everything. Especially, I mean, traditionally, like some of my African ancestors in their culture, when warriors went off to war, when they came back, they would spend the minimum of 6 to 9 months with the medicine man of of the clan or tribe that they belonged to work on their healing, to release the demons of war and everything. And we need to embrace that concept and stuff. And they're not doing that, and that's why we have so many haunted places. I mean, you read the history on them, and still these poor souls are stuck. I mean, oh my God. You've been to Gettysburg ever?
no, but I've definitely heard some shit.
Oh, child. Oh my gosh. That's one of those places you got to make sure you're majorly crowned up because, oh my, the sadness and depression that is still, I mean, just embedded in the land. It will literally, if you, like I said, if you don't have that proper training, it will literally drive you insane. And that's why we got to make sure that we are not becoming complacent as investigators. You guys, like I said, you're dealing with the spiritual world. You got to make sure, I don't care if you're an atheist. This is still, the spiritual world is an energetic world, and it's made of positive and negative energies. So you got to make sure you have, as they say, shields up, Scotty. You know what I'm saying? When you when you go into an investigation and everything, you got to make sure you are covered in positive energy, because a lot of them, the conscious malevolent energies, if you don't want to recognize them as ghosts and spirits, it's still energy, people. Okay. And you don't want that attached to you, let alone bringing home to your children.
Absolutely not. And Raymond Newsom says, thank you. Irene says,
Thank you.
exactly. I'm saying the same thing. Sage don't really get rid of what's there, and I don't use it. I tried to tell people that, and I do residentials. And says, rosemary helps memory,
Yes.
and they want us weak and separated and numb the brain. Miranda says, that's amazing. And Raymond says he's going to Gettysburg this summer.
Awesome. Awesome. Trust me. If especially if you're able to, have the gift to see, you will definitely get a lot of interaction. Because a lot of them poor souls, a lot of them boys don't even know they're dead and they're still fighting the war. And it's sad. And it's
Miranda
really
wants to know, how do you work on seeing auroras?
Aurora.
Auroas.
If you mean auras,
Yeah, I got bad eyes.
that's that's all right, hon. Um, it seems at different energy fields, depending on the person, you know, will show up. But definitely, mostly when for me, I do it through my mind's eye. I literally remember, like in the Star Trek series and everything, the 21st century one, when they're in the medical thing and they, how it has the thing above them and showing their body and all that stuff.
Hmm.
That's like what I see in my mind's eye. And it could show me, because I'm also one of my spirit, my gifts is being a medical intuitive. That's how through, because I'm a master herbalist and certified natural health coach. And so when I'm working with a client and everything, I'm able to see in my mind's eye exactly what it is that's wrong. And if anything is not in alignment with your chakras, because our PowerPoints, the main 7 ones, have certain hues. And if there's not, something going right and everything, it will show up in your energy field and stuff. So if someone has like some kind of dark gray going on, or like a darkish, like any, like if the color's not vivid, then usually there's some kind of health going on. Depending on if you got entities attached to you, sometimes I might say like a gray line, depending on how it goes. And then various colors, like someone who's naturally happy all the time and everything, minutes they give off like a pink to like a yellowish color. For me, someone who is really stressing out, go into the deeper purples, because they're all up here and they're crown chakra and stuff. um it all depends.
Okay. And Miranda says, I have fat fingers and am just learning.
what does fat
Raymond
what does fat fingers have to do with anything?
Raymond says, oh dear, I went to New York City in 2003 and the screams were so loud I could barely leave the hotel room.
Oh,
And Ryan John.
I feel you. Anytimes in cities like that who have a long history, I literally bring with me, because the company that makes the Florida water has it in an aerosol can. I bring that with me, and then I bring smoke eater, lavender, and chamomile, and then the smoke eater, dragon's blood aerosol sprays, and spray the whole room down, like so I can actually get some sleep. Like for instance, when my husband that I'm married to now, when we got married, we went to New Orleans to get married, and we got married at the French Quarter Wedding Chapel, and the hotel that they booked us in is called the Prince Conti Boutique Hotel, and it's one of the cheapest in the French Quarter at 149 a night. Everywhere else is like between 650 to 800 just to start for a standard room, let alone something fancy. And I'm started thinking to myself, and I'm thinking to myself, because my father-in-law, what he didn't know none of the history of the hotel, but he just liked it that it was the price, and it's actually a 5-star boutique. It's very nice. The Conti Boutique Hotel was originally built back in 1802, and it's on Conti Street, and it's one of the most haunted hotels in the quarter. And that's why it's
Oh
so cheap.
no.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh God.
Well,
Happy
my
honeymoon.
father-in-law didn't realize that
Honeymoon.
when they looked at it, because he was going to pay for our hotel and everything when we went down there, and because he thought it was cool, because it's literally half a block from the wedding chapel, so we just got in our wedding clothes and walked there and everything. And I was like, Prince Conti, wait a second, wait. Oh shit, yeah. Man, figures. So I made sure a child, because I mean, that's the only way I got some sleep.
Yeah,
You know,
no
like,
doubt.
if don't the partiers and everything. I said, the honey, it ain't the living that keeps me awake at night. And then I spoke with the little maids there. They had all these sweet little old black ladies that worked there that clean and everything. And I said, y'all need to come together as a union and ask them, because you can buy it in industrial size. Start using multi-purpose cleaner disinfectant, lavender fabuloso or the lavender pine sol. And because I know y'all deal with some foolishness in this hotel. And the one girl, she goes, "Ooh, you got the gift." I said, they call me Reverend Patience. And it's like, oh, okay. And so I, gave them some tips and everything. And they're put it this way, they putting salt in the buckets.
I believe it. I believe it. Happy honeymoon, honey. Enjoy not sleeping, getting bombarded by spirits all night.
Well, like I said, when we flew down there, I had the aerosol can of Florida water, and then we stopped in this one smoke shop, and they have that smoke eater spray that comes in the silver can that a lot of the tobacco and smoke shops have, and they're made with real essential oils. They have one that's dragon's blood scent, and then they have one that's lavender and chamomile. So I was spraying all 3 cans.
I bet you your room.
That was the only way I was getting some sleep.
Your room smelled pretty fantastic too, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And also too, we were smoking weed in the hotel room anyways. And then it's down to smoking hotel. So we made sure it, like I said, for that and for just to keep the spirits out and everything. Because listening to the jazz music playing until 6 o'clock in the morning, that don't bother me. That puts me to sleep. And everything. It's just things grabbing you by the foot and shaking you and everything, like waking you up and stuff. Ciao.
All right. Reverend, I need you to put a rumor to rest for me.
Okay.
And I believe your opinion will be the final factor in this dispute.
Okay.
Does marijuana, or AKA cannabis, help you with your chakra, your third eye, and your spiritual world?
Oh yeah, I encourage it all the time, especially my babies who are readers. I tell them to put in their stash jar, take some amethyst, which help amplify psychic abilities and also give you psychic protection. And then 2, when you go to roll a blunt or go to roll a doober and everything, before either write a sigil or what it is you're trying to manifest, either with don't do a marker, but like trace it with your finger, or you can do it with, like, lightly with your spit of what you want and everything. And because cannabis has opened up the pineal gland. That's why it makes you a free thinker. And it's been proven to regenerate our brain cells.
Yeah, I've always wondered why, when I used to get stoned, I always had great ideas.
Oh yeah.
So
And also,
I'm a
too,
big
another
thinker
thing about the CBD and everything, it's been proven now. When the pandemic first started, I even mentioned it about how on the cellular level, it will keep your immune system up, that the COVID could not attach to your cells, and you wouldn't be able to contract the COVID if you took CBD regular, not smoking cannabis, but taking like the tincture and everything with the Delta 8, or eating the gummies and everything. And they have now come out with new proof that I was correct. They did trials in South Africa and New Zealand.
Man, that is phenomenal.
And people try to say I was crazy. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And now I have confirmation and everything.
Bios wants to know, what types of food do you think dumbs you down?
Processed foods.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because they're full of chemicals. Toothpaste and mouthwash full of fluoride. They use the fluoride to calcify your pineal gland so they can control you. If you decalcify your pineal gland, not only will you be able to hear, see, speak, and all that kind of good stuff with the spirit world, but also you'll be more of a free thinker. and think for yourself. And that's the thing that powers that don't want you to do.
I myself, I hate to admit it, I'm a processed foods type of guy. I make box dinners. I process cheese, bagged cheese, sour cream, you know, and it kind of makes sense now, that since eating so much of this, because when I was with the Spokane Ghost Crew, I mean, I ate processed foods, but I was on a pretty good diet back then. But now, it's a lot more processed foods, and I've been wondering why I've lost touch with some of my ability.
Because the chemicals that are in the processed foods, all the chemical soy crap that they put in there.
Because I don't know how to classify what I do, but I'm the type of person that can meet somebody, complete stranger, and within 1 to 2 minutes of talking to them, I can tell you whether they are a good person or a person that I'm just going to straight walk away from because they're nothing but trouble.
It's it's being a natural empath. We all have that natural ability and everything, being able to do that, and that's like I many a times I always, like I tell people, I try my best to give people the benefit of a doubt, but when your energy is so nasty and it literally smacks me up in the face before I even physically see your picture or feel your, or meet you in person, then sorry, I'll be
Okay.
civil because I'll be civil to you because I'm an adult, but doesn't mean I like you.
I know we're live and I don't want to put you on the spot, but when you first met me, what did my energy, what did you see from my energy?
You're a very good person. You wear your heart on the sleeve.
Damn, that's pretty accurate.
That's because
Tanya
that's
says,
mostly because you got certain things that the little boy in you, your inner child, needs healing from and everything. And like I said, when you get a chance, go to my ministries page on the YouTube channel under the playlist, and under the healing and chakra ones they have in there, and then to align your chakras, and then also too, there's ones that are 9 hours long that either rain, and there's also one that's 9 hour long that like cricket sounds to help with different things with self-esteem, getting over childhood trauma and stuff like that. There's even ones that help you stop eating processed foods, help you stop smoking, stop stressing out, having, excessive over negative thoughts, dealing with depression, anxiety. Like I tell people, if you can't flip the script and get out of that negative mindset when you're awake, go schedule yourself a 20-minute nap or take advantage of your sleep, when you go to bed at night. I totally understand that a lot of the videos, you can find all different types on the YouTube. They're going to tell you, you got to put the earbuds in. Personally, I'm a side sleeper. I don't like earbuds in my ear, when I sleep. And I have
exactly.
tested them out for myself because the playlists that are on my ministry YouTube channel, Rev Payshence Spiritual Ministry, are my personal playlists. They're not even the only video playlists that are my videos is my show Spiritual Tea Time with Reverend Payshence. The rest of those playlists are other people's videos that I use for myself. I have them split into different lists and everything, dealing with self-esteem to healing, dealing with different financial situations. I even have a list where they're, between what I call the 7-minute list, where they're about 2 minutes to 7 minutes long, which is great to listen to, like while you're awake, to hurry up and flip the script. But like I said, if you find yourself worrying about something, go into the YouTube channel, look up a video that will help you get into that positive mindset so you stop worrying. Because a lot of my people that come to me are seasoned practitioners and everything, but their main problem is, like a lot of people and everything, they're doing all this external work and chasing all this external shit and wondering why things are not making them happy or they're not manifesting. It's mindset. And it's all because we got this stuff that we have, we're conditioned to press things down and get things on the subconscious, and not realizing it's spewing out in our relationships and keeping us from the best life that we're meant to have. And that's why, the easiest way to, and people always want to, oh my gosh, it sounds too easy. You got to remember, everything we say is energy. So if you keep saying things are hard, guess what? Are you telling the universe you want things to be hard? You got to concentrate on the solutions, not the problem. So you got to keep drawing into yourself that the solutions I need will come to me easily and effortlessly. And that's a part of it. This is, like I said, 2022 is the year of self-care. So, and the key to self-care is self-discipline. You got to put in that work. It's called spiritual work for a reason. You can't, trust me, I wish there was a quick fix for everything like they do in Hollywood. Twitch your nose, bob your head, and everything okay. Wave of a wand and boom, it's all done. That's not reality. Our life is a daily work, a daily process. You got to want it. Like for instance, I got people that wait until the last minute and they got shit hitting the fan spiritually and they need that spiritual Calgon take me away to fix everything. You can't do that, especially with everything that's going on. That's going to fuck up your immune system, make you susceptible not only to spiritual shit, but also colds, the COVID and flu, whatever, cancer and everything, because you're allowing that negativity eat you up. That's like having radiation in the body. You know what I'm saying? And it's making you in an acidic environment. And so you've got to work on it daily. You got to want to make it happen. And one of the easiest way to do it is doing sleep meditation and using aromatherapy with your household and daily products. Taking advantage. One of the most powerful forms of doing energy work and spell work is a simple shower. People don't realize that. Get the right aromatherapy smell of your body wash, some with some coconut or coconut lavender and jasmine or something like that or another. Smell it in real good. Say your daily prayers and everything. Let that water run over you as it washes away the negative energy, and scrub yourself down. But as you're physically scrubbing yourself down, you're scrubbing away the negative energy and you're covering yourself in blessings.
I'm sure you get this all the time, but I fucking love you, Reverend.
Yeah.
You are the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Oh, I don't know about that now, but yeah, mostly I get either that or either it's either one or the other. There's no in between usually with most people. Either they love me or they hate me. And usually the ones that hate me, it started out in the beginning. That I tried to be cordial and nice to them and everything, but it ended up being Frog and the Scorpion. And then once they stung and showed me their true colors, I let out my Scorpion Rising and show them that I could sing even harder.
I know. This is why I'm so happy and grateful these days, knowing what I know. I totally understand. And I fast all the time for spiritual work.
But make sure you, I understand that you're fast and everything, but still keep getting your nutrients, like by taking supplements and drinking your water and drinking some protein shakes as well. Because some people mistake fasting into anorexia.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got to make sure that you're still doing what they call supplemental fasting. That it's actually healthier for the body than this straight and just not eating and drinking, or just drinking straight water. You still need to make sure your body is right now and everything. You still got to make sure that you're getting your supplements and all that kind of good stuff to keep your immune system up.
So I have heard people say that when they get into the kitchen and they get in what I like to call the cooking spirit.
Right.
Now, they will turn on Ludwig von Beethoven they will turn on, pretty much anything classical. Now, a couple of people have told me that when they have anxiety attacks and this and that and the other, they will go into a room, turn on a song called Moonlight Sonata, and they will listen to the 15-minute version and pretty much go in like a lion and come out like a kitty cat. What's your take on that song?
That's the same concept and everything. The frequencies that are of that song help calm the mind. That's no different than listening to the Savaggio frequencies. Everything is
Okay.
That's why his music, Mozart music, is great to listen to for someone who has ADHD and everything, and they need to focus while they're studying and stuff. I'm one of those type people that has that. When I need to focus and get something done, I have to have my music playing in the background in order for me to focus. Because I cannot focus just on one thing. I have to focus on multiple things to focus on that one thing.
Absolutely. Reverend, it has hit that time. Do you want to continue to go, or do you want to call it good, honey?
It's getting late with my time. Kitty cat needs to go to sleep.
All right. I will go ahead and put you in the back for a minute. Please don't go anywhere. I just have 2 more questions for you. That's it. Okay. But they're private, so I'll see you in the back.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Reverend. Well, all right, guys. Reverend Payshence. God, I love that woman. And I would definitely go and check her page out, check her YouTube out. She is the real deal, and she is 100% worth it, guys. And like I always say before I end these podcasts, go to Parapost, guys. Screw Facebook. Screw all the crap that they're giving our paranormal investigators and paranormal family. Let's just all meet up on Parapost and be one big happy family, because there's no drama on Parapost. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, from ShadowZone to you guys, have a hauntingly good day and a ghoulishly good night. And come on back next week, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we will see you guys next Wednesday. Love y'all. Peace out.